Hello viewers, welcome to my YouTube channel Learning and Sharing. I think you have already guessed that what we are going to discuss in today's video. Yes, you are right. We are going to discuss about the soils. So this particular video is very detailed and exclusive about the soils. We are going to discuss in detail all the characteristics of soil, such as properties, types, soil profile or horizons, soil composition, soil formation, and the soil texture. So this video is very comprehensive, as I told you earlier. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to split this video into different parts because otherwise it will be very long and be boring might be. So this is the first part of the video in which we will discuss the composition, formation, and texture about the soils, and I'm going to give you a very detailed introduction about the soils. So आज हम soils के बारे में पढ़ेंगे. हम इस वीडियो को यानी इस लेक्चर को डिफरेंट वीडियोस में स्प्लिट करेंगे, डिवाइड करेंगे. आज के वीडियो में मैं आपको बेसिक इंफॉर्मेशन दूंगा कि सॉइल क्या है, सॉइल की प्रॉपर्टीज क्या होती हैं, सॉइल इंपॉर्टेंट क्यों है हमारे लिए, सॉइल की कंपोजिशन क्या है, उसकी फॉर्मेशन और टेक्सचर क्या है. इन कमिंग वीडियो वी विल डिस्कस अबाउट द सॉइल टाइप एंड होराइजन और प्रोफाइल इन डिटेल्स. So without wasting of time, let's go into detail and see what we have in this video. So let's start from the definition of soil. That what does mean by the soil? Soil is a naturally occurring mixture of minerals, organic matter, and air, which has a definite structure and composition and forms on the surface of the land. So what does it mean by that? Soil is a naturally occurring substance which has the minerals and organic matter. At the same time, they have a air also. But the soil has a definite structure. यानी कि soil को एक definite structure होती है. It has been composed by the different things or different substance. So soil is the uppermost part of the earth crust from where our plants germinate, from where our plants get its needed substances. So जमीन के ऊपर वाले हिस्से को हम soil कहते हैं, जो एक कुदरती substance है, which is being mixture of different minerals, organic matter, and the air. So soil are dynamic and diverse natural system that lie at the interface between earth, air, water, and the life. So what is being said? It is at the junction where all the natural ingredients meet there, and it is being made of the diverse natural ecosystem. So they are critical ecosystem service provider for the sustenance of humanity. What has been said, soil is very important for us. It is the it is the substance which provide us the nutrients. So it means this is the source of survival or sustenance for the human being. Technically, the soil is a mixture that contains minerals, organic matter, and living organisms. But broadly speaking, soil can refer to any loose sediments. So जैसे हमने शुरू में आपको बताया, it can be a mixture of different things like organic matter, organism, minerals. But in other way, it is the loose material. It is loose sediment which is a part of Earth's surface. Now, why soils are important? So soil is one of the most important natural resource. It supports varied lives of forms. So it has been supporting different forms of life. So soils are critical for the health of our planet. It's very important. Our planet is needed supplement from the soil. One of is the agriculture production or nutrients. So they are key in the carbon cycle, helping the regulate climate. तो हमारा जो soil है, it is very important, also help in recycling or cycling of carbon dioxide. Same time, it also determine the climate, means it regulate or control the climate. They store and filter water. Soil में हम जो पानी को स्टोर करते हैं, ना सिर्फ उसको फिल्टर करते हैं, but उसको स्टोर भी करते हैं, helping to moderate floods and droughts. So once we have a drought, or natural disasters such as floods and the droughts, it can be moderate or be in control with the help of soils. They provide nutrients and water to grow foods, which is very key here. Soil support a large and diverse biological community. Look at in the system where we have been living, it's very diverse one. So we have a different biological community. So all the biological, species, they get their, sustenance from the soil. So you can see here why the soil is important for us. So plants get nutrient from soil, and plants provided glucose and the oxygen. They are being produced here. Now, what are the soil components? Soil is composed of 4 primary components, which are mineral matter, organic matter, air, and the water. So here is a percentage of these components. Such minerals is 45% in the soil, while air is 25%, 45% the mineral, 25% we have air, 25% we have water, and 5% is organic matter. We will go one by one. The mineral matter, number one is, it accounts for about 45% in the soil. Is partially decomposed rock material. So mineral matter guy, it's actually is a decomposed rock material. So once our rocks, once they are being decomposed, weathered, and they become the part of the soil. It is the sand, silt, and clay that is found in the soil. So sand, silt, and clay are the ingredient part of the soil. यानी कि ये बहुत जरूरी होते हैं soils में. The amount of sand, silt, and clay also determine the soil's ability to hold water and provide nutrients. So especially the amount of these 3 things determine the quality of the soil, not only in terms of holding water but providing the nutrients. कि वो कितना % यानी पानी को hold करेंगे वो soil, और वो कितना हमें nutrients देंगे. So you can see here the different form of the minerals matter here. Number 2 is the organic matter. Organic matter accounts 5% of the soil, the partially decomposed plants and animal matter. It is organic matter actually is the remains of plants and animals. So हमारे plants, animals होते हैं, उनकी remainings होती हैं, and they become the part of the soil. It is only the 5%. Most organic matter is from plant leaves, roots, and stems. Organic matter gives soil its dark color. So once you find the dark color in the soil, you can guess from that it is that soil has more organic matter. यानी कि अगर किसी भी soil में organic matter ज़्यादा होगा तो उसका मकसद ये है कि उसमें organic matter ज़्यादा है. Organic matter contribute to soil fertility. यानी कि it's very important that our soil must contain the organic matter which enhance its fertility, aeration, and water logging capacity. So जो organic matter है वो soil fertility, उस aeration means crossing or of air, and the water holding capacity is तीनों चीजों को control करता है, यानी कि उसको बढ़ाता है. Number 3 is the air. Air is 25% of soil volume. ये 25% है. It's represented in the space occupied the air. यानी कि it means it is a space between the ingredient of sediments in the soil which occupy the air. यानी कि उनके दरमियान जो हवा है उसको हम कहते हैं. When soil are the wet, the amount of air will be less. So once the soil contains more water, it has a capacity to, to hold water in less percentage or reduced percentage. So when soil are dry, amount of air it will be more. जब soil खुश्क होता है तो उसमें हवा ज़्यादा होती है, जब उसमें पानी की मिक़दार ज़्यादा होती है तो उसमें हवा कम हो जाती है. So there is a constant fluctuation in the amount of air and water found in the soil. So there's always been a variation in the percentage of air in the water in the soil. So you can see here the soil aeration here. The different gases or air has been here found here. Number 4 is the water. Water accounts for about 25% of soil, also part of pore space in the soil. तो ये 25% पानी मौजूद होता है, यानी कि जमीन में होता है, यानी जमीन का हिस्सा है. Also part of pore space in the soil. So when you look at the soil, it contains the pores, यानी उसमें space होती है, pores होती है, and that pores are being filled by the water. So when it rains, water will enter the soil and flow off of the soil surface. The process of water soaking in the soil is known as infiltration. So once the rainfall is been falling, it's a rainwater has been falling on the ground, start to go inside the earth, and this process is called, through those pores, and this process is called the infiltration. Once water in the soil movement downwards is known as percolation. जब वो पानी और नीचे चला जाए तो उस प्रोसेस को हम percolation कहते हैं. A quality soil allows both kinds of water movement and is said to be permeable. यानी कि जो quality water है, it allow both process of infiltration and percolation, and that quality or character of soil is called the permeable. Means it giving permission to both the water to go, not only to be part of the soil but also move freely. So you can see here, so this is the pore space of the soil, and in the soil, and that water is being filled or come to occupy that place. Now we'll talk about the soil texture. Now what does it mean by texture? Texture actually is the size of the sediments of the soil. यानी कि उनकी size कितनी होती है. Number 1 is clay. Clay is the smallest or very fine, less than 0.02 millimeter in diameter. So the size of clay is less than 0.002 millimeter. It is easily stick to each other. Means the clay soil is being very closely sticked or chipped together, little room between the particles to store water, extremely compact and feels sticky. So this clay material or clay soil is very sticky and compact that it leaves very little space for the water or for other things to move here. So you can see the example of the clay soil here. Now the silt. Silt is 0.02 to 0.05 millimeter in diameter. Feels smooth. It's very smooth one. Holds water well. यानी कि पानी को अच्छी तरह ये and resist the infiltration. यानी कि जो filtration होती है उसको ये resist करता है. बाकी पानी को अच्छी तरह पकड़ लेता है. So you can see here the image of the silt here. We have another type of texture of the soil is sand. Sand is 0.05 to 2.0 millimeter in diameter. This is the side of sand. This is coarse particles, यानी silt और ये इसकी size ज़्यादा होती है. Creates soil with large pores. यानी कि ये इसमें ज़्यादा pores मौजूद है, ज़्यादा space मौजूद होती है sandy soil में, sand में. Water filter through. इसके through पानी वो filter हो जाता है. So you can see here the example of sand texture here. And number last one is the gravel. Gravel is 2.0 millimeter or in the larger. Don't hold water well. यानी कि ये sand, silt और clay से इसकी size बड़ी होती है. Gravel, so you can see here, this is the gravel type of texture here. छोटे छोटे जो पत्थर होते हैं, but don't hold water well. यानी कि ये पानी को सही तरह hold नहीं कर पाते. Now we talk about the soil properties. Soil has a different properties, and one of them is soil porosity. What does it mean by soil porosity? Soil porosity means the pores or space between soil particles. So जब soil में particles दरमियान pores होती हैं या space होती हैं, उसको soil porosity कहा जाता है. Soil permeability, the rate at which water air move through the soil. So once the water air they move in the soil, we call the soil permeability. So it is actually the rate that how long and how much they are being moving. Soil color. Soil color depends on minerals and organic matter. तो जो soil color होता है actually it is showing the minerals and the organic matter. जितना जैसा organic matter soil में होगा या minerals होंगे, वो उस किस्म का soil show करेगा. Soil texture, as already discussed, is the size of soil particles like clay, sand, silt. Now, soil pH. What does mean by soil pH? It's a content of acid and basic in the soil. So, how much that soil contains the acids or the basics? So, you might have heard about the pH scale here. It also determines the quality of the water and also with the soil. And then we have a soil fertility. Now, soil fertility is how well soil can support plant growth. It is very important, very key that it depends the production or the nutrients which is we are been getting from the plants has been depending on the fertility, that how good is fertility of the soil we have. Now we'll talk about the soil formation factors. It's very important that which things are very important in making the soil. So there are different factors here. We are not going to discuss in detail. I'll just give you a little hint about that. I might make another video on that. Well, number one is the rock type. The rate of weathering depends on the structure of rock and minerals that make up the rocks. And our soil is made of the weathered rocks. यानी कि हमारा जो सरफेस है वो रॉक्स का बना हुआ है. जब वो रॉक्स में टूट फूट होती है, जब उसमें वेदरिंग होती है, तो आहिस्ता आहिस्ता वो सॉइल में कन्वर्ट हो जाता है. सो सॉइल टाइप इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. Rock type is very important here. So what sort of rock type we have? Climate is very important. Soil usually develop more quickly in warm, wet areas than the cold, dry areas. So climate is very important. You must have to keep in mind that it takes centuries in making this soil here. So it's a very lengthy process. But here, the soil is more, quickly developed in a warm or wet areas. जहाँ पे ज़्यादा गर्मी पड़े, यहाँ पे ज़्यादा बारिश पड़े, और then the cold or dry area, यहाँ जहाँ पे ज़्यादा खुश्की हो, यहाँ ठंड हो, तो उसमें तो ज्यादातर warm or wet areas में होता है. So the greater the rainfall, the faster the rate of erosion and leaching. So you might have studied about weathering process, or weathering process where we have, if we have a more rainfall or high evaporation, more insolation, then the erosion and leaching will be high in that areas. Topography, soil usually develop faster in flatter areas where sediments are not easily eroded. तो जहाँ जहाँ erosion कम होगी, वहाँ soil जो है वो जल्दी में बनता जाएगा. So topography, the top surface of the earth, very important here. So wherever the topography is a flatter one, smooth one, there are more chances of soil making. Plants and animals. Now, plants and animals are very important. Without a lot of plants and animals, soil tend to develop slowly. So, the remains of plants and animal, we call the organic matter, is the ingredient as key part of soil formation process. So here, for soil, it will have a low or slow rate of soil formation where their remains of plants are very low. So soil जहाँ जहाँ plants और animal की तादाद ज़्यादा होगी, उनकी remaining की तादाद ज़्यादा होगी, वो soil जल्दी में बनता जाएगा. So it was all about the soil's factors, properties, and the composition of the soil. So in next video we'll discuss the soil types and the soil profile or horizon. So till then, take care of yourself. See you very soon.